Hello everyone, aloha, and welcome to White Shadow Spiritual Advising. My name is BriaBogatin, and today we will be talking about the Great Conjunction. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. There's a Great Conjunction that just happened. There's a new moon. It's the winter solstice that just happened, and I am on the big island of Hawaii where Pele, our lovely, wonderful volcano goddess, has awoken once again, and happened during the Great Conjunction. So there's a lot going on, obviously. I am not going to be explaining this from an astrological standpoint. I am not an astrologer. What I know about astrology may seem like a lot to some, but in truth, it's not a lot at all because there's so much to know and it takes years and years of experience. If you're looking for that, there's plenty of amazing astrologers that have done videos explaining this in an astrological sense. I am going to be explaining this pretty much just channeling information from the ancestors. I have my beautiful altar right here all set up, and that's why I'm sitting over here because I want you guys to see it. And yeah, so I am going to pretty much just I have some cards pulled. I am pretty much just going to be channeling information that I feel the ancestors, our creator, our spirit guides want us to know, what they want me to put out there. So I have some bulletin points written down, but mostly I'm just going to be channeling right here, right now for you guys. So down below, you can find my business pages on social media. It's just very simply White Shadow Spiritual Advising on Facebook and Instagram. I am offering reading bundles until January 3rd. The readings are discounted in the bundle. You can find all of that information on those pages, and please message me on one of those platforms if you have a question or if you would like to book a session with me. I like to talk to people before I book them. Also down below, if you feel compelled to do so, you can send me a donation or an offering to this vessel for all the free guidance and the wisdom that I offer you guys. And thank you so much to all of you that have done that. I love you guys. I love my clients so much. They are the light of my life. And I know that you're probably wondering what the hell I am thinking in the midst of all this chaos. So here it goes, all right? Okay, so when I sat down to write these bulletins down, I just, I ask Spirit, what is it that you want me to say? What is it that you want me to share with others? And as soon as I picked up that pen, I just saw an onion, and I heard the term in my head, or the words in my head, the onion analogy. So you know how they say, like, there's layers that you need to peel back, right, of the onion. You can use that analogy in so many different ways. And what they showed me was that this onion of this Great Conjunction, all this energy, was literally just placed in front of us. We have barely begun to peel back that layer. Yes, of course, a lot of us have a great grasp, a great sense on what this means. However, there's a lot of things that are going to come about from this conjunction and all this energy that we can't even perceive right now. It's not even in our realm of thinking. It's not even something that we could understand if we did know it. So there is going to be a lot of out-of-the-box things that occur, especially with Saturn going into Aquarius and the dawning of the age of Aquarius actually happening right now. Very out of the box, I always say Aquariuses are the galactical thinkers. I believe Aquariuses are meant to come here and bring the galactical energy into the physical form. If you are friends with an Aquarius or you have Aquariuses in your life, you know right away exactly what I'm talking about. These are the people that you see watching, conspiracy theories on YouTube. They talk about aliens. They believe in things or educate themselves about topics that most people won't, or most people deem untrue or just weird or whatever. So it's going to take years for all of this to unfold. I mean, we are ending a lot of different cycles right now. There's an 800-year cycle that has closed out with the whole Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. There's, I believe, a 200-year cycle that's closing out, and also a 25 1,000-year cycle closing out, all of which you can research yourself. And it's very easy to find this information. So we are going from Capricorn to Aquarius. Very simply, Capricorn is the mundane, it's traditional, it's very structural, and Capricorn can go with the system. Capricorn tells us to go with the system because that's what we need to do in order to survive, right? Well, now we're moving into Aquarius, where Aquarius is like, fuck the system. I hate the system, and the system is not what I need in order to be successful and survive. It's actually what is bringing me down and is the detriment to my success and my ways I want to survive. So this is a big trend. It's like two sides of the coin, right? Capricorn and Aquarius. Capricorn is one side, Aquarius is the other. So you're going to see, and we are going to see a lot of like freedom fighters, you know, coming out of wherever. You know, it's already been happening, but it's going to be amplified tenfold. Aquarius people are the type of humans, and air signs in general are really like this. I'm a Gemini, and I certainly know I'm like this. But if you tell an Aquarius, like, don't touch that button over there, their will to touch that button, just because you told them not to, automatically is tenfold. Like, if you tell an Aquarius not to do something, they want to do it because you told them not to do it, because it limitates their freedom. It restricts them, and Aquarius energy does not want to be restricted. So all of the ways in which we are restricted as humans is going to be highlighted during this time period, and it's being highlighted in order to die, transform, transmute, overcome. Things in our society are going to be really different structurally. It's going to move into a new place that's a lot more beneficial to the people. And we can see this starting to happen, but it's only just begun, and it's going to get a lot more intense. The way I see this is, I feel like, especially for the people that have done the work, especially for the people that have an understanding, that are connected, especially in a spiritual way, I feel that it's going to be a smoothing out period. I think that for the past couple of years, what I feel is that people have had a lot of challenges physically. And I think the physical challenges in our personal lives are going to smooth out, and they're going to transform into opportunities. Now, when it comes to the world, that's where we're really going to have the struggles and the challenges, because it's going to change our reality. It's going to change the way that we operate, at least for a lot of us, you know? So this energy is going to mentally open us up to new ways of thinking. Again, Aquarius, the galactical thinkers, the out-of-the-box ideas, studying spiritual modalities, finding your own spiritual modality. Because remember, spirituality is the biggest thing that is taken away from us within this society. And Aquarius is going to pretty much fill that cup back up. Aquarius energy also pushes us to not be afraid to express how we feel, to express what our beliefs are, and to stand in the truth. So then you kind of get into this idea of reality. So what is reality? I mean, we don't exactly know, right? When it comes to a universal way of thinking, like, we don't even really fully know what happens when we die. Like, some of us might have a good sense of it, but we don't know in its entirety, right? So we don't exactly know what reality is in the grand scheme of things. However, on this planet, there is truths, and then there is falsities. There isn't an in-between. I like to break it down into three things. There's conspiracy theories, there's truths, and then there's illusions. All of that is going to be understood during this time period. And the people that are going to have the most trouble with this energy are the people that are just very unwilling to accept the obvious truths of our society and mix it all up and say all this stupid shit, like there's not enough evidence, there's not enough this, but what about this, or what about that? Like, stop thinking so much and look at it at face value. We are going to be forced to do that. If I don't really think that anyone watching this video is going to be one of those people. However, we all know those people, right? Those people in your life you're going to see really struggle because they've been so in that Capricorn energy to the point of it being illusionary. Reality is factual. Reality is a truth energy. A reality stands in the truth. And right now on this planet, a lot of us live in different realities, okay? There's people that, just for example, that believe aliens are real. I hate the term aliens, but there's people that believe aliens are real, and there's people that don't believe that aliens are real. That's a different reality to live in. There's people that believe in the corruption in the government, and there's people that don't believe in the corruption of the government. There isn't an in-between when it comes to this information. There is real and there is fake. There's reality and there's non-reality. And so what the energy of this conjunction is going to do is clarify all of that for us. You know, another example, what is happening in Hollywood. I don't think I have to explain it. I think whoever's watching this is going to understand. The things that happen in Hollywood and things that happen in our government, it's going to be exposed during this time, and it already has been exposed on a certain level, and it's a big level. However, it's going to get to a point where people cannot deny it, and because they won't be able to deny it, it is going to drastically change their reality in a way that is going to be so impactful on them that you're going to see a lot of people become mentally ill from it, try to cope from it in negative ways. It's going to be hard for us as a society during this time for people to cope with the truth, the actual reality of what we're experiencing, and for people who already understand that reality to see fellow humans struggle so much to do that, especially since a lot of people have been trying to expose the truth and they just get shot down, they get made fun of, they get harassed, and all of that. Think of it in this sense. Say that you believe in say you believe in a fish god. I don't want to offend anyone. This is just an example. Say you believe in a fish god, right? And you dedicate your whole life to this fish god, and you were like, this is it. This is the end all be all. This is how I want to live my life. This is what I deem to be real. And then all of a sudden you find out that that shit was fake the whole time. That is what we are about to see happen on this planet. That, oh, this person is, trying to help people. This person is, a political figure, a government leader. Come to find out they are a whole evil person. And people have put faith in these other humans that are completely doing horrible things. And that is going to shake a lot of people to the core. And we as light workers have to be able to step up, put our ego aside, and open a sacred space of compassion and understanding for these people in order for us to all heal as a collective. And that right there is the essence of the energy of Aquarius and the essence of going from Capricorn to Aquarius. Capricorn energy doesn't really question things. Capricorn energy is, I don't want to say like just one direction. However, Capricorn energy, and if you are Capricorn, it's not to say that you are like this, but you might find you're like this in some ways. Remember, you have a whole birth chart to read off of, whatever. But Capricorn energy is like, okay, this is the system. This is what I need to do in order to be successful. And that's all I'm going to focus on. That is my main focus for this lifetime. Aquarius questions everything. Well, where did the money system come from? Who made it? Why did they make it? What was their intention? Where did it come from? Da, 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 da. And those answers to those questions are going to change everything for us. So keep that in mind. There's so much more I would like to say about that, but I think I'm just going to end it there. Okay. With all of this happening, we still have to work towards the ascension. As a lot of people like to say, I like to say, there is an ascension happening, but ascension is more so person to person. We are ascending as a society. However, in order to ascend as a society, we first have to ascend within our own lives. But it's not just going to fall into our laps. We have to work towards what it is we think is going to be the ultimate structure of our society, of our world, of our reality, what we feel would be best. So with that, the card, the Eight of Pentacles came out, which is very much what I'm talking about right now. This is having to work towards something. It's not falling in your lap, okay? We're gonna have to work towards this. I see a lot of things where I just think people think just because that energy is there, that things are going to change. Yeah, the energy just simply being there is going to change things, but to actually get the real change that we need, we have to apply that energy to our everyday lives and to how we operate in this world. So again, the Eight of Pentacles, moving towards something, working towards something, and getting something out of it too. I think something that a lot of light workers have felt is that they feel they're trying to help people. They're doing their readings, they're offering this, they're offering that, and they might feel that it's not really getting anywhere, and that is going to change during this time period. We all feel that way, okay? I don't want to hear no, but I don't feel it, no, okay? We all feel that way at some point, especially us light workers, that we are doing all this work and this world is still a shit show. Well, we're going to start seeing the work that we have put in really unfold in our world during this time. Something that is so strong in my channeling, every single time that I connect to this energy, specifically regarding 2021 is going to be one of those years where this time next year, we're going to look back on 2021 and be like, everything is so different. It's like, as we're going to be in it, it's going to either, I feel like it's one or two things. I don't know exactly which one it is. It's either that the changes are going to be subtle and subtle, and that is going to add up to something really big, or we're going to be caught in this almost whirlwind of intense changes that we're not going to remember or have the time entirely to really reflect on how different things actually are. Okay, so Saturn in combination with Jupiter. So Jupiter is the planet of expansion. Jupiter is also it brings like good fortune type of energy. It rules over the sign Sagittarius, which is meant to be a lucky zodiac sign. I feel like Sagittariuses actually have really strange luck, maybe not necessarily good luck, but very strange luck. But that is what they say, right? That is the purpose of Jupiter. So again, I feel mostly in our personal lives, we are going to see karma smoothing out. It's going to be smoother sailing towards the new destination. Personally, worldly, I don't know. I feel like the world is going to like, almost, I don't want to be ridiculous and just say like combust, because we still have to keep that mundane energy. We still have to keep that aspect of, earth, right? The earthly energy, the reality. Okay. So I feel like, okay. So when it comes to even the energy of Aquarius and the quote unquote ascension and change of our society, the more chaotic the world gets, the more restrictions that these people in power try to place on us, or whatever, the more that they do that, the more free we are going to be. And I know that sounds weird. However, it's not, if you think about how if they try to restrict us and restrict us and restrict us, that people are going to fight back. And I say this to my friends and my boyfriend all the time. When it comes to America in particular, it's almost like they kind of screwed themselves, because they built America on freedom and freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of this. You have a right to do this. You have a right to do that. Well, now we're starting to see the American government pull that leash back some, right? I don't think it's going to be a mess, because they're going to try to pull us in, reel us in as Americans. You know, not saying I'm really going to go out and whatever. I like to sit in my house and do stuff like this, all right? And but it's going to make people revolt. It's going to make people want to be a freedom fighter. I keep hearing the term freedom fighter in my head. And the essence of what we were told America was built on is going to backlash these people, because they're trying to almost change that. I don't give a fuck what you think about COVID or what you think about this or that. If you're really going to sit there and say that our rights aren't being limited through this situation, then you are just ignorant and don't want to accept the truth. Sorry, not sorry, all right? Like, I'm not saying COVID isn't real or that the pandemic isn't real, but I'm also saying that they are trying to pull that leash in on our rights. And the more that they do that, the more free we are actually going to be, because people are going to fight back. And that is the essence of the energy of Aquarius as well. So again, combination of Saturn and Jupiter, karmic mercy type of energy. It'll help those that are unaware of certain things to handle it in better ways. So for example, if this was happening under like a fire sign energy, people would probably, I don't even know what people would do. The energy of Aquarius helps people to detach emotionally. So instead of sitting in the heart space when you find out or when you discover new things or when reality really slaps us in the face, instead of really being emotional, we're going to be more so in the mind. Because Aquarius is an air sign. The air element rules this area of us. Smoother sailing when it comes to physical troubles, a new destination. And this card came out, which is the Six of Swords. This is the energy of air as well. The Suit of Swords is the energy of air. And I really feel that perspectives are going to go in different places. It's like your mind is going to go to different places. You're going to think things that you never thought before. And a big problem with humans, and I'm guilty of it too, but it's okay to change your mind if you find out more information. And humans are so fickle, and we live in a very egotistical society. And we're stubborn, and a lot of us don't want to be wrong, don't want to feel wrong, don't want to feel like we've been doing things wrong. Just because you find out new information that is accurate does not mean you've been doing things wrong. What it means is that you've been doing things in alignment with what you were perceiving as truth. It is okay. We come here to this planet to experience that specific thing. Earth is a school. Earth is a school, okay? And I say that twice because people hear that and they're like, yeah. Like, I think that, I believe that. But do you feel that? Do you feel how Earth is a school? These are the things that we really need to embrace and reflect on and like imprint in ourselves. Like, we are here during this time for this specific reason. Every single person that's alive on this planet right now incarnated because of what's happening right now and what is about to happen. It is a great ascension, but you cannot go out on a whim and say, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. I'm giving you right now what I'm sensing, what I'm feeling. However, a big mistake that I think people make, and this is opinion, is, and I see a lot of really awesome healers do this, they try to like put dates on things. Oh, in the month of October, this is going to happen. On December 20th, this is going to happen. I really wish people would stop doing that, because I really think that when people do that, it changes things. I feel like the universe is like, oh, that's what you think? Just kidding. Psych. And and it's just what I feel, and I feel like it's fully accurate if you really think about it. I do believe that there's an ascension. I do believe that there is going to be some sort of celestial event. I do believe that there is going to be some sort of crazy government, whatever the hell you want to call it, that is going to go on. but I don't know when it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen in my lifetime, but I'm not going to sit here and like act like it's going to happen tomorrow or next month or a year from now or even 5 years from now, because who really knows? It's all predictions and assumptions. It's okay to foresee, like I said, foresee these things happening. But the moment that you try to like put a label on it, put a date on it, put a time period on it, I feel like it just ruins it, honestly. And I feel like that you can't really listen to stuff like that because we are not the conductors of this show. And that is a big thing that we are being taught as well. This event is not going to happen when we want it to happen. It's not going to happen in a specific time period. It's going to happen in divine timing. I really hope I didn't contradict myself and that made sense. It's about understanding where things are going, but not trying to decide when they're going to happen. And not saying these people are deciding themselves when it's going to happen, but they are deciding, right? They are trying to put it in a time period, put it in a place where they don't fully know it's meant to be. That is something to think about, especially when it comes to all of this. I'm going to end that right there. Okay, so the energy of Aquarius will subconsciously direct everyone's mindset to a specific place. It's like if you have, for example, a negative energy casted around you, your mind's going to naturally go to a negative place, right? So when we talk about Aquarius and everything that I was saying Aquarius embraces, subconsciously the masses' mind is going to go in that direction. All right. So then, Aquarius also goes into technologies. During this time, I really think that we're going to see a lot of really great technological advances, and it's going to be really interesting to see the whole artificial intelligence thing unfold. I personally believe that we are the technology, and I think something that we are going to start to understand is intuitively aligned technology. Just gonna leave that at that. So, these are prophetic times. These are times that you see in scriptures. And you have to understand that scriptures and prophecies are not always literal. They can be, but they're not always literal. A lot of times they're not. And I strongly encourage everyone to go and educate themselves on the stories of our ancestors, what our ancestors foresaw for the future of humanity. Okay, so this I think is really, really awesome. And I've been feeling this for a few months now. People that are struggling with addictions or severe mental illness, I really think that this is going to be an ideal time to really free yourself from that addiction or from that mental illness. This is the time of liberation. This is the time of discovering new ways to cope and new ways to heal. Remember that Aquarius questions everything and Aquarius finds a way. So when it comes to trying to heal addictions and mental illness, a lot of people are missing that spiritual element, like our society is. And again, Aquarius is going to place that spiritual element, that spiritual aspect back into our energy. And so I really, really feel, again, people that are struggling with addictions, people that are struggling with severe mental illness, this is a great time for you to really overcome these things. Maybe not overcome it fully, but 2021 is a huge access point for people struggling with that. And we all are in some way, right? There's a great, great, great opportunity to heal, because I personally feel that in order to heal those types of things, you do need to find a specific spiritual modality in order to fully overcome that challenge. And it might even get into understanding more so the karmic lineage as to why you were meant to experience that in this lifetime. Again, people that are having those experiences, this stuff is going to open up to you during this time period. Soul missions are going to be highlighted, most certainly. And I think that's all I want to say. I hope I didn't piss anyone off, but you know, whatever. All right, so I just want to wrap it up with the last two cards that I pulled. So we have the Three of Swords. Very simply, this is going to go into, so any card in the Suit of Swords it usually does represent new information, finding out something new. So obviously, this is a card of heartbreak. This is a card of pain. This is a card of having to overcome something, finding out something very difficult. So like I was saying earlier in the video, we're all going to experience this on some level. There is going to be heartbreak towards what the truth of our reality is regarding this human experience. We don't know everything, right? So you might be someone that you know a lot about the earthly truths, but there's still things that you don't know. And it is hard to cope with the things that go on this planet. I mean, obviously, right? Not even going into things, you know, like we know that there's children dying, children starving, children being abused. We know that. However, there's a structure to it that is being exposed and that we have to come to terms with. And that is where I feel the Three of Swords is going into. And again, the swords in this goes into perspectives. So keep in mind that perspectives can break your heart, right? So then we have the Seven of Cups. This is a card of illusions. And this, again, like I was saying, when it comes to people struggling with addictions and stuff, having a really opportune time to overcome that during 2021 and this conjunction energy. This card reminded me of that guidance that I received. Also, again, a card of illusions and exposing them. These cups are on the clouds, which means that they aren't based in reality. They aren't real. They aren't grounded. And so there's a lot of castles in the air when it comes to what actually is and what isn't. And this card is going to push us, and this energy is going to push us to pull the reality down into the earth, into a more grounding sense, so that there's not so much wondering. So there's not so much, but what about this? But there's not enough evidence for this. There's not enough information for this. But this person said this, but this person did that. That is all about to be eliminated. So these cups are about to be eliminated. So say, for example, these 4 cups at the bottom got eliminated. They would just be faulty and fall, you know, wherever they would go. And these ones, we would be able to ground into our acceptance, into our mundane essence, our physicality, and then deal with whatever is in those cups, right? Okay, I hope that made sense to you guys. I am at 33 minutes now, so I'm going to end this right here. And many blessings to you guys, and I'll be back soon for monthly tarot readings for January. All right, so aloha.